For the transfer medium for all the processes on this DVD, you're going to be using a SuperSauce concentrate. It's available either as a gloss or a matte finish. The gloss is used on non-porous surfaces, and the matte version is used on paper like fine art papers or stone paper. I'm going to mix up a batch of each of these. You're going to shake the SuperSauce concentrate. Well, shaking it up is very important. You're going to need a tablespoon measuring spoons, a couple of sponge brushes, and mason jars. The reason I use a mason jar is because it has a very airtight seal in the top, and you don't want your alcohol to be evaporating. Now, you use a 91% alcohol, it's isopropyl alcohol, for this process. So the first thing that we're going to do is pour 2 cups of the isopropyl alcohol into the glass jar. And I'm going to prepare both of these at the same time. You don't want this to splash where it might splash up in your eyes. So be careful with it. And a reminder is important at this point. The DOS SuperSauce concentrate is conforming to the ASTM D4236 code for safety. However, once you mix it in with the isopropyl alcohol, you need to consult the warnings that are on the alcohol bottle. Now, to 2 cups of alcohol, we add 4 tablespoons, and I mean level tablespoons. You do not want this to be heaping over the top of the tablespoon. If you put too much in, it's going to be too thick. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now you'll use a double plastic bag, put that over the top, and put your lid on. Then close up the concentrate. And you can see that settled down to the bottom there. Now these are going to need to be shaken up frequently. When you first put the lid on and you're going to go tip it, do it slowly. Make sure that you really do have that lid on tightly. You don't want this to splash up in your eyes. Now you'll notice that this is precipitated out in the alcohol. And if you were to let this sit at this point overnight, you're going to have a very thick, gooey glob on the bottom that's going to be hard to get to dissolve. Should you get that gooey thing on the bottom, you're going to have to just keep shaking it upside down for quite a little while to get that to loosen up. You're going to shake this up, and this is the mat. I want to make sure I keep that straight. Okay, that's the mat, and this is the gloss. The gloss is even precipitated out more. Over the next few hours, about every 30 minutes, you'll want to shake this up again. I have another set here that I've made. After you make it, it's imperative that you label your jars so that you know what they are. The SuperSauce mat should have its own label, and this is the gloss that I made earlier. You can see now this is very clear. I do have a little bit of goo still hanging on the bottom, but if I keep shaking that, that'll get dissolved into the liquid. Now, when you are going to use this, you're going to use it with a sponge brush. Your sponge brush cannot be washed. The jars can't be washed. If you ever have anything left over, you're going to let it evaporate outside or in a very well ventilated area, and then you're just going to dispose of this. You're going to store your brush in the jar for use. There's no point in taking it out. The reason you cannot wash this brush, and I'm going to demonstrate this, is because the minute this hits water, it turns into a gelatinous mess. And if you were, say, to try to wash the jar and put it down the sink, you would have a big glob of goo in the plumbing. I'm going to go ahead and put this in water and show you what happens. Immediately it becomes very stringy. And in fact, if I pour some of this in here, I now have a real unpleasant substance that cannot be used for anything. And that would not dissolve in water. It would not go down the drain. So you have to be careful about remembering, don't put this into water. The SuperSauce matte, again, is for paper. The SuperSauce gloss is for non-porous surfaces and the digital tintype transfers that we're going to be doing.